So here's a question you got to ask yourself. We've been talking about this a lot. I've been talking about this a lot lately because it's intriguing to me. This whole concept, like you hear Dillon Brooks, like dude scores 14 points a game whenever he scores. He doesn't suck at basketball. He plays in the NBA. Does he have any right to talk shit to LeBron James? Does he? I mean, dude, nobody's disputing that he's not, from an NBA standard, he's not an all-star. He obviously, LeBron James is the highest scoring player of all time. People are going to argue whether he's the best, whether he's Michael's here, he's there. There's nobody that's going to say he's not one of the best. Nobody, right? But the thing is, the question that I have and the thing I've been thinking about is Dillon Brooks smarter than we think he is, or is he not, right? Like, I mean, he's popping off about if LeBron doesn't give him 40 points, he don't respect him. Well, shit, Dillon Brooks ain't never gonna score 40 points in his life in the NBA, I don't think. I mean, I'd be shocked. I don't think he ever has. If he has, you can tell me. Does he have the right to talk shit? Well, anybody has the right. I mean, dude, like, until somebody shuts you up. Now, here's the beautiful part. They play, like, literally, it's coming up upon us. So what will LeBron do? Now, if LeBron doesn't drop 52 on him, it doesn't really mean a lot. Dillon Brooks is still going to be a guy that's going to play in the NBA for all these years, or however many more years he plays. LeBron's the greatest of all time, or one of the greatest of all time. And, like, after time, Dillon Brooks will only be remembered based on the shit he talked about everybody, that he got in the Shannon Sharp's face, and then But dude, weirdly enough, if he wasn't doing this, you would have never heard of him. You know, so for me, the internet's kind of like, it's powerful what you can do. Is he embracing a role? Is he smarter than we think he is? Is he embracing this bullshit villain role of he's talking a bunch of shit? I mean, he's talking about he wishes he could have covered LeBron when he was younger. Dude, I don't play in the NBA. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm not a big, like, oh my God, by the way, I don't run around to defend any of the players. They don't need my defending. So some people get really upset when somebody talks about their guy. You know, somebody said to me when we were watching the game, listen to it, like, which one's your team? I'm like, what do you mean, which one's mine? None of them are my team. I'm not on any of the teams. Which one do you pull for? I'm like, you know what I mean? I live near Miami, so like the Heat win, cool. But so I'm not on any of it. I don't get all twisted up about like, oh my God, I can't believe he's talking shit to this guy. I can't believe he's talking shit to that guy. I mean, I grew up a Kobe guy, you know, Michael Jordan, then Kobe. So but I didn't think neither one of them needed me to defend him. If people didn't like him and talked about him, I don't think they needed me to defend him. I was just kind of like, they seem to be okay on their own. My question is, two things. Number one, does Dillon Brooks have the right to talk shit? Well, anybody in the league, they can talk shit. There's nobody immune from you running your mouth to them, right? Now, I will argue that back in the day, now people get upset about back in the day, there were dudes on the team. Like, I wasn't good at basketball in high school. Didn't claim to be. Played football, baseball, went to college, played a little bit of ball, but not basketball. Like, I got it. But what I knew, my role, like boxing out, playing defense, is if somebody messed with one of our top two scorers, like that was, dude, they can't foul out and get ejected, but I can. Ain't nobody need me. They get somebody else off the bench, come in and box out, rebound, and play defense. Maybe I'm a little bit better defensively than they are and a little more aggressive, but I'm not going to truly, I wasn't Dennis Rodman, right? But I also do think back in the day, people took issue with that. And if a Dillon Brooks type of player, 14 points a game, you know, three rebounds and a couple assists or vice versa, like a dude, like he plays, that ran his mouth like he was 4 times better than he was. I think some other guys that their job is to whack people, knock them out, elbow them, step on them, get them in the ribs, whatever. It's a different game now. So, but I'll be interested to see how they react in general, because you're still talking shit. And, you know, when he's in LeBron's face screaming, I get it, dude. Why dignify Dillon Brooks? And the world's begging LeBron to dignify him and argue him. I'm thinking he's probably going to go out and play a pretty damn good game. Now, maybe he wants him to play one-on-one, and Dillon Brooks is he smarter than we think we are, or we think he is, and is the team smarter? Are they not? You know, at the end of the day, you got the greatest scorer of all time and a dude that you wouldn't know unless you talk shit in the NBA, and he's popping off at the mouth about him, you know? But it will be really interesting to see how excited people are about it on both sides. Now, the one thing I will tell you about Dillon Brooks outside of basketball is if he's doing it intentionally or unintentionally, it's good marketing. And he understands how to get himself blown up, and he understands how to get, so if he's looking for that, dude, and he's seeking the attention, there's no better way to do it than go after the all-time leading scorer who's still active playing and call him old, and I wish I could have defended him back in the day. I mean, dropped like 28 pretty easy the other night, and it didn't, like 50% shooting from the field. So it didn't look like LeBron was struggling to score. But now, the Lakers go out and beat him. I mean, because Memphis, with their seed, you would assume they would have won that series because Dillon Brooks popped out the mouth and he should shut his mouth. And his teammates should tell him to shut the fuck up. Like, because now you're hurting the team. But if he goes down lockdown defense, LeBron plays one-on-one, LeBron's still 10 times better than Dillon Brooks could be in any given day in his life at basketball. But how does it all through the series? What do I think? I think it probably does not end up well for Dillon Brooks, but you never know. I don't know. I'll watch the rest of the games and see. At the end of the series, LeBron's still going to be one of the greatest of all times, and Dillon Brooks still going to be a dude that just talks some shit and probably scores, 10, 11 points a game the rest of his career, maybe 14, maybe 13.2, and then he'll move on with his life. But you'll always know who he is. And everybody in the world's talking about him now. They posted something, forget about all the bullshit comments, hard to tell on social media, but a lot of thousands of comments every minute because it's LeBron James. I will say at least nobody pops off about LeBron or to LeBron. Is it a good idea? I don't know. Probably not. But he did it. People go do stuff where they're trying to market themselves, trying to win a game, trying to win a series, trying to get inside somebody's head. That's of interest to me. I would probably look at the bench and make sure Ja Morant's going to play before I started popping off. So I would hope that maybe next game he's going to do that because I think it's going to be a struggle for them to beat the Lakers without him. But that being said, who knows what's going to happen. But the one thing I will tell you is it's making basketball more exciting. Whatever side you're on, it's made everyone in the playoffs who said, y'all are hating on both of them, but a lot of people are hating on Dillon Brooks, obviously, easy to hate on compared to LeBron's. He said, but they all just made the playoffs more interesting. And that's a fact. So, one of the most watched activities, call it a sport if you want, in the world is WWE wrestling. And it's completely staged and everybody knows it. But we watch it like it's not. So I think some of this is definitely, it's entertaining. So the ratings, the numbers, the marketing, the ad spend, the dollar per, that'll all let you know if it was good for the game because they're trying to make money. That's what it's all about. And I also think if a player comes out, I don't know enough about the NBA teams to tell you who would be in the Lakers, but if a player comes out, don't play as much, and elbows Dillon Brooks in the mouth, I think that's good basketball too. That's your job. And hell, if you ain't any good or if you don't play much, you're good if you're in the NBA. If you don't play much, go upside the dude's head. He taught LeBron can't do it. You can't lose LeBron, So I think it'll be interesting, man. But it's made it more interesting. People are talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. People are like, hear what he said. Did you hear this? Did you hear that? And I don't think anybody's immune. Now, I will tell you, somebody said to me, what do you think if somebody did that to Jordan? I said, a lot of people didn't do that, but I grew up watching him. I wouldn't. I think Jordan goes out and drops 64 on your head, spits on you on the way out. Now, we don't know. You can't bring him to this age and put him in that situation. But what's going to happen, man? Is LeBron going to drop 40, 50 on him? Lakers going to win? Is Dillon Brooks going to regret it? Is it going to backfire? Is Laker going to run through the series now when they might not have? I did have an old coach told me, when they're just cruising, like the dog's just kind of sleeping, don't wake it up, don't poke it. And then when he said, I poked bears, that was weird. I will tell you, when you're talking shit, that's just kind of really fucking weird. There's a lot of other things to say as opposed to, that's what I do. I poke bears. I get it, but I don't get it. So I don't think that landed. But it will be interesting, and we will know as we go through the series. Now, God forbid Grizzlies win. Dillon Brooks will think it was because of him. And none of us all gonna ever hear the end of it. So is that good? Is it bad? I don't know. He's got a platform now, dude. But if there was more of this, he'd have less of a platform. This idea now, we're gonna compete, and we ain't gonna be best friends. And they'll watch it was Chris Paul and somebody, I think it was Kawhi Leonard, walk by each other and that's news because they didn't grab each other and say hi, or they bumped into each other. They had a cold shoulder, the caption said. It's dude, they're competing against each other. I like the fact that people are competing now. And I think a lot of this, when you're really talented, you play with a lot of these guys growing up because you're that talented, and it's different than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago with teams coming up. And I'm not opposed to people I'm glad they all get along. Glad people do. Maybe this is good. Maybe it's bad. What do y'all think? Is Dillon Brooks going to get this thing shoved right up his is he going to regret saying it? Is it going to be good for the Grizzlies? Is it good for the game? Is it bad for the game? Should Dillon Brooks just shut the fuck up? Is LeBron going to throat stomp him? Should somebody from LA Lakers that is a role player get some early time in the second quarter, come up and go upside Dillon Brooks' head? I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'm glad we're talking about it. It's got me excited about some stuff, and I'm more excited about the NBA playoffs. And if I'm wrong for that, then so be it. It's how I feel about it. But what are your thoughts on the whole deal? Dillon Brooks, LeBron, the NBA, the playoffs, talking shit. I want to know.